Hey, it's a little bit strange starting a subject without being there. So I thought I'd make a quick video to say hello, welcome to the subject, and a bit of an overview of the whole year. As I go, I'll read off a bit of paper, so if I'm not looking at the screen or the camera, that's why. Um, all right, so firstly, this subject's called physical science, semester long subject, and the aim of the subject is to introduce and to build on the stuff that you already know, but to introduce the fields of chemistry and physics. In chemistry, we try to look at what substances are made out of, and then how what they're made out of determines how they interact with each other. And in physics, we look at the fundamental rules of nature, the fundamental rules of the universe. So those are like energy and how energy determines how things behave, and force and motion, and how the laws of force and motion determine how things behave. Um, all right. I love this subject, partly because the topics are the topics that I really, really enjoy in science, and we're able to do really interesting and cool things. But also, I really enjoy the subject because like as you guys are getting into year 10, your brains are starting to really move and really think about things critically, and that means we can do really interesting things, um, which is cool. All right, so more on the overview of the subject. Um, as I said, so first we'll do chemistry. And the first part of chemistry is looking at what stuff's made out of. So we go down to an atomic level and look at atoms, elements, molecules, and the structure of those things, and then use our understanding of the structure of those things to explain why they behave in particular ways. And so from looking at atoms, molecules, and those like really fundamental things. Then we go on to looking at chemical reactions, and chemical reactions is cool because we're able to mix stuff together and actually see what happens. And really do physical hands-on stuff, which is really fun. Um, with that, you'll do a lot of the atoms and molecule stuff before I get back. So in the first 2 weeks, but that's all right because some of that stuff's quite theoretical. And so it's not such a loss for me not to be there, because you can do a lot of that stuff on your own. But then when I return, we'll be able to do more of the practical stuff associated with that, which will be sweet. From chemical reactions, then we go on to look at energy, and that flows on really well. So now we're really starting to look at the physics side of things, and then from energy, we look at forces and motion and how the laws of energy, force, and motion determine how everything moves and works. And that's really cool because we can do really physical stuff, and I don't know, physics is the most fundamental understanding of science, so we can look at the world on its most basic scale. But at the same time, we can build up from that. So at one stage, we'll build rockets and analyze their sort of motion and energy and forces and stuff, and that'll be really cool. Um, in the 2 weeks while I'm away, I've made a booklet. It's sort of, yeah, just like a program of stuff to work through. You should really just work through it step by step by step by step, and try to complete it as best you can. I would expect that it will take you about the 2 weeks to get through the whole thing. Um, but my priority would be that you understand it, as opposed to rushing through it to get it done. So yeah, do take the time to try to understand the stuff. Um, in the booklet, there is some information provided, but also you'll need to use a degree of independence to help you, by if, like when you don't know things, going to your notes, looking at resources that you've used before, using your classmates to help you, and of course using the internet. Um, in a lot of cases, you're directed to watch YouTube videos. Use like if you watch a YouTube video and it's helpful, but doesn't quite tell the whole story, or you need more information, then often the YouTube videos around that video are really helpful as well. So use those sort of resources to help you with that. Um, I think that's really it. I'll be back at the start of week 3, so look forward to that. That should be sweet. I'll see you then.